This week on New This Week, we're going to talk about comics that are new this week.
Love it. Django, thank goodness that we're here, because it's a Tuesday, Wednesday hybrid day where we finally got what seems like a normal week of comic books in our store.
To Wednesday.
Every week. But like just after a sort of 5-week month that had stuff I was kind of interested in every week, like this was, okay, I got a stack of stuff. Yeah. I don't know what I want to read first because I'm so excited.
I took home that many comics this week.
That's almost as, that's a good, much larger than the stack that I took home. I was pretty excited to read Tartarus #1 from Image Comics because I really liked the art in it. What were your thoughts? Because this is kind of what I wanted Protector to be, like 2 weeks ago from Image Comics.
I like this a whole lot. This is not a book that's in kind of my genre. Braden said Justin got excited for it, and I flipped through it, and I liked all the space scenes, and then Braden said there's a flaming sword, and I was kind of deflated.
Yeah. But
I think it's a really solid story. I like the way it's structured with like a two-part story that spans generations.
Yep.
And it throws you into the world in an interesting way.
Yeah, it's weird to have had so many years go by where I wouldn't say a book came out that feels a lot like Preacher. That feels a lot like Prophet. Yeah. And now we've gotten 2 books in the last month that are like, sort of feel like from that crew of guys between Protector and Tartarus. I think that this one did it a little bit better, but it does that same thing of just sort of throwing you in, not giving you a ton of information. And like the art in this, I've never seen this person's art, but it is, they're just having fun drawing an incredibly complex sci-fi world. It kind of reminds me of like what Sid Mead did with Blade Runner, where they hired him to draw the cars, and he ended up drawing so much atmosphere around the cars that became the entire look of the
whole
movie.
World.
Yeah, he can't stop doing it.
Yeah.
And that's what this felt like. But yeah, at the beginning I was a little like, okay, I'm kind of lost, but then by the end I was very excited to read the next one.
Yeah.
It's like 2 full issues. It's like 46 pages or something.
Yeah, I was super impressed. I read Undone by Blood from Aftershock, The Shadow of a Wanted Man. It's got 2 titles.
Oh.
It also has a pretty interesting structure. It follows a girl going to enact revenge on the people who killed her family in a small town. And she's a little wild and dangerous and scary, but also she's reading a cowboy novel. So we get the cowboy novel as part of the interstitial bits of the story.
Parallel narrative.
Yeah.
Love that.
It is, the art is cool, the colors are awesome, and in the end, you get to read the next chapter of the cowboy book. I never do that, and I definitely did this
I love
time.
that it's chapter 4. It's not like, here's the illusion of back matter chapter 1.
No,
it's
you
like,
read chapters 1 through 3 on the bus with her.
That's awesome.
This is like violent, crimey, like dirty bad guys. The author...
Unshowered bad folk.
The author of the cowboy book is Elmer Lockwood, and I'm pretty sure that's a reference to Elmore Leonard, who writes crime stories and cowboy stories.
Over my head. You sent me
a lot.
You sent me a picture of a page from it yesterday, and I was like, oh man, that is awesome. And then I went through all my books trying to find what book it was and realized I didn't bring it home and was so bummed because it's gorgeous looking.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're going to dig it.
Yeah, I'm excited. Aftershock Comics, very cool. Did you read Alienated #1?
Not yet. I brought it home and ran out of time.
Yeah. Well, my partner's name is Sam, and this follows 3 people named Sam going on the chapter 1. 3 kids called Sam go walking in the woods.
Okay.
Which I had to check it out, but 3 kids go into the woods and encounter a thing that gives them seemingly ESP, or the ability to read each other's minds. And I like checking in with pretty much all Boom Studios things. As I flipped through it at first, I was like, okay, this art is undeniably Boom Studios.
Yeah, but I like it.
Yeah, it's they never are like super off the mark, but it's also not necessarily super exciting art for me. This is pretty good. The concept isn't like revolutionary.
Right.
But I did like it quite a bit. It just kind of goes through, it's hanging out with teens going through school, and there's like one kind of horrible homophobic racist dude who, like, by the end they kind of create a very unlikable character to have something come up in it without spoiling it. But yeah, it's good. I I'm always kind of hungry for these teen high school books, but it's never super easy to find one that, like scratches all of the right itches. So this one's pretty close. I'll keep reading
9 out of 10 itches?
8 out of 10 itches. Not the most itches. Not scabies level, but
that's 4 out of 5.
Absolutely. Simon Spurrier, who just does stuff.
I read Superman Heroes #1. This is like an anthology book with Bendis, Fraction, and Rucka writing Maguire, Lieber, Perkins, and Norton.
Lieber.
Steve Lieber's in here, and hilarious as always. We learned some things about Jimmy Olsen and Superman's relationship, and in the classic Fraction and Lieber way, it's hilarious and heartfelt.
So it's the whole package.
It's the whole package. The Kevin Maguire pages it's just like everything I love about Kevin Maguire.
His facial expressions are so emotive.
Yeah, and we get a really good scene with Booster. Like, you can tell that Bendis has put a lot of thought into what happens when Superman reveals that he's Clark Kent, and how do all of his friends react.
So this book comes out of that kind of awkward double-page spread in the previous issue of Superman.
No. This is different.
Really? Because it said in that, continued in Superman Heroes.
Did it really?
Yeah.
They didn't address any of that stuff.
Well, I think that was to say this is just an issue about people responding to Superman's identity being revealed, and is that what it seemed like it was?
I think that a lot of this is set before or right after. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it sits in the continuity, but
we've got a Superman Villains coming out as well.
Okay.
But that's an awesome creative team.
Yeah.
And Fraction in there as well.
It's just people from each of the Superman books right now. And yeah, I liked it a whole lot more than I expected to. It's an oversized issue, and man, every one of those creators is top tier.
Yeah.
And Bendis just, if I wrote this story, I would be thinking, oh, Batman would be a jerk because Superman did that. And Bendis has put so much more thought into it.
Yeah.
Like, Booster has a totally different reaction than Batman, than Wonder Woman, than Jimmy Olsen.
Is there a good Batman response in here?
It's what you would expect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm very interested in those two
but it's what you would expect.
buddying out.
Yeah.
A bunch of oversized issues this week. Well, Django, I hate to be the guy. Who's like, did you read X-Men yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Also, I brought it home, though.
I like it a lot.
Yeah?
So this one follows up exclusively from the events of House of X and Powers of 10 with Mystique.
Okay.
Like, why in that episode or issue where they were on the Sentinel thing by the sun did Mystique disappear for a minute?
Okay.
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
5 months ago, and everyone was like, what? Why was she not there for a second? It explains what's happening there. It paints a larger picture of Charles and Magneto, or Magento. And really humanizes Mystique, but it really, without wanting to spoil much, it brings her to the forefront as a main point of contention within the whole sort of Krakoan embassy legacy thing that's going on. In issue 2 of House of X, the Moira issue, where we see Moira talking to Destiny, who can see the future.
Right.
What's really cool in this one is we knew that Mystique and Destiny had a relationship, but in this one they addressed that they were married, which is, as far as I know, a new bit of continuity that was added.
Huh.
And I like that a lot. But it's just, we had those one-shots in the X-Men universe where it was, okay, like, how is this all tying together? But the last two have been very focused on, the people and what's going on and how it relates to House of X and what is the direction going forward. And I am so jacked about it. It is so good. And ugh.
Do they tell us if Mystique bought a wedding dress or if she just turned into a wedding dress?
They didn't, but I feel like that had to have been a Claremont thing. That's been covered. Lockheed was wearing a little suit. She probably turned. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Yeah.
Well,
you got anything else for us, Django?
Yeah. Okay. I have under here a comic that we're going to auction off this month. It's The Avengers #1, a 3.0 CGC copy. And dang, it's going to be cool having this in the case and showing it to people.
Yeah, that's certainly a piece of history. Like, it's going to be a huge conversation piece for the rest of the month. And it's going to be also really exciting just to see the bidding process. Like, what is it like to do an auction like this through the store? So.
Yeah. Well, I hope everybody will come in and check it out, or,
Like,
I got
comment, and
nothing.
subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah. Should we open this bird up?
Let's get this bird open.
All right. I'll take this over here.
Oh yeah, just toss it on the shelf.